Gonna enjoy because I sure did.
We were discriminated against at Groveland.
This is my master teacher. This is our master teacher. Owbed Yisrael. One of our great God's son, Yahweh. What people don't see, they don't believe. In my hand here, I hold a piece of artificial hand designed by man. This hand described and written by, on paper someplace, I don't know. It was stress. If you got stress, call a number 028-4910. Stress. Now, I don't know. This is a back scratcher. So now you know what this is, a back scratcher. So what people don't know and don't see and can't prove it, then they don't know what it's all about. You see me? I have things here, you look at me, okay? And I can do something else. All right? Now what changed about me? Can you figure that out? Do I look the same? Tell me what changed about me. If you can tell me that, then you know what we're going into. All right? Now I'm back where I was from the beginning. I was incarcerated some 7 or 8 years ago in the penal system in the state of New York for a little petty crime. You know, come on in empty houses, hustling up cans, bottles, whatever I can find under the cell for scrap to make money for one reason after another. So I have been incarcerated in jail, justice centers here in Syracuse, New York, for a period of 7 months fighting the case because the little case wasn't nothing. It was a trespassing case, and they wanted to get me time for burglary 2, which carries a penalty of 7.5 to 15 because of my past record. I didn't want to go for that, so I fought it in court, and I already had a previous charge for the same type of crime, and I won the case on the first one, the second one, and they still gave me time for the present case that I was pending against me. The first one, yeah, the first one. And they said, well, if I plead guilty to this charge here without going to the grand jury, I can receive a 3-year sentence. I can do 1 year and get out, which was a lie. I didn't know at the time. I thought they were telling the truth. During that time, I was in the courtroom. I'm thinking I'm going to get probation from the court system. And this Judge Waltz, he's with all the long white hair, you know, he's a little skinny man. And he called me up there. I'm handcuffed down, you know, got me all chained down like I'm finna be hung. I go into the electric chair just for going in an empty house. I mean, they think that I was one of the dangerous men in the state of New York. Like I had raped the governor's daughter or something. I mean, they had me chained down like I had committed a serious crime. And I get before this judge, and he said, Mr. Thomas, you know you made a deal with me. I said, yes, sir, Your Honor. He said, you want to cop out to this 3-year sentence? I said, yes, but the lawyer told me I was to get probation if I cop out, and then I can do 3 years on the street, which was, no, we're not going to do that because your past record. You are a persistent felony, and I can send you to the grand jury, and I guarantee you, I see you getting the max, which is a 7.5 to 25. Now I'm gonna give you 1 minute to make up your mind what you want to do. I start sweating, my heart went to beating. I'm looking around at my wife and the audience, I'm looking around at the people. Now I want to talk to them, I want to talk to the lawyer. The lawyer just standing up there looking, punching me, take the 3 years, take 3 years. I said, man, you're going to give me a 3-year probation. Take 3 years. Okay, but tell me what you want to do. I ain't got to ask you no more questions. I just turn you over to the grand jury and they're going to find you guilty anyway. I said, I'll take the 3 years, man. So I took the 3 years. You know, I cop out, I plea. After going through the procedure when you're first going in there to be x-rays and doctors and examined for different stuff wrong with your body. They ain't found nothing wrong with my body. And they went through the spray down for germs or whatever else, neck and take more pictures. Then they sent us, after we was there, what's the name of this place up here? Going toward Elmira, New York. We stayed up there for 30 days, and they were real strict, and then they had so many inmates there, man. Oh, it sounded like a train at night, you know? It's so much noise. You got 7 flights of poles that the inmates stay on, and you got 54 cells going on each flight. You got 4,000 people in that joint, and when people talk at night, it sounds like you close your ears up. I mean, you can't get no sleep at night. 12 o'clock is shut down. They're quiet hours. They catch you up talking. They got classes. They'll take you right out and carry you right to the box. The box is the place where they don't feed you or nothing like that. You might stay in there 3 or 4 days for running your mouth. I stayed there for 30 days. Then they shipped me out. They said they're going to send me to Cayuga. And I tell them, I'm going to Cayuga. That ain't far from Syracuse. That ain't far from my hometown where I live. And I can get my visit every week, you know. Then when we got ready to be shipped out, that Tuesday, we had to get our bags, big bag with all our personal belongings in it. They got on there, Groveland. What is Groveland? So they sent us to Groveland. No, first one to Livingston, because I had to go to Livingston is an alcoholic facility that teaches people how to overcome their addiction from drugs, you know, all kinds of stuff. So I had to go through 6 months of that before I could get my minimum status could come down, custody could come down to a minimum. Now, when you first go in there, you got a medium. If you're there for murder, that's maximum. You go behind the walls. And they're real strict. They're real strict at Livingston. So I stayed there, and for 4 hours in the morning in the alcoholic anonymous thing, 4 hours work in the kitchen. So I began to receive my, after 2 or 3 weeks there, I began to receive my books. I ordered some books from the Nation of Yahweh during that time in the year 2002. And I began to do my studies. I began to search the libraries and look for Bibles pertaining to the name Yahweh. I couldn't find it no place. So I went to the library and I got some encyclopedias, but Yahweh, 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 you know, God, the Creator. And I began to study those things. For 2 months, I studied those encyclopedias by the name of Yahweh. They got so many different names about Yahweh in this encyclopedias, encyclopedias, you know. So those encyclopedias had been in the prison system something like ever since the 1800s. And people didn't bother about going in there, getting no library, going to the library, getting books pertaining to the name of Yahweh, because they had their own religious service there. They had the Catholics, you know. They had the Muslims. They had the Christians. Well, Christian and Catholic is the same thing. I learned that. They all based on name. Then you got the Seventh-day Adventists was there. Okay. Then you had the Baptists. Okay. I was born a Baptist son by a Baptist preacher. My father was a Baptist minister. He real strict on us too in the Baptist church. But anyway, then you had the Rastafarian. Okay, the Rastafarian. They knew about the name Yahweh, but they wasn't allowed to talk about it during the service. If they did, they had the guards there sitting at the door all the time. You don't talk about that. And then when you go, you gotta have just only the books that they had to give you in the prison system to study, and that's about Christ, Jesus. You know, which I found out that was a big problem. Anyway, I attend the Catholic service. I'm gonna start right here. They had the Jewish teaching there, okay, but there wasn't that many Jews there for them to order a bunch of books and things like that. So we needed literature. We need books to study because we only had one Bible, and they wouldn't give everybody a Bible. Then we tried to get Bibles in the system too, so that we study. You wasn't allowed to take a pencil. You couldn't record nothing. They wouldn't allow you to take a pencil to write down. So you don't take notes when the preacher preaches. They didn't allow that. Because you can take a pencil, stick it in somebody's neck, and that'd be it. You know, kill him or something, stick him in the eye. But anyway, what we did, I went to the Christians, and they did all their services. I stayed in there about 2 weeks. I said, no, this ain't gonna work. And I said, I don't like to hear these people getting up there and shouting and sweating and going on, and people just saying all kind of crazy stuff. Don't make no sense. Read 2 scriptures out of the Bible, and then they holler the rest of the hour and a half in service. Then the Muslims, I asked some of the Muslim brothers, would it be all right about taking some of this stuff? I said, yeah, brother, come on in. We got lots of teaching going on here. So I attended that service for about a month and a half. And they want to go all this here, bow down on the floor and scar my head all up, and I can't. I don't want to rub my head on the floor all the time, you know. They walk around here with black spots on their floor. They lay on the floor all the time, you know. Man, come on. And then I said, I can't go along with this. Which they had a strict diet for them too, but they could, you know, they ate a lot of food, and they raised Cain, and if they didn't get their food, then the Muslims they should not raise hell, and they fed them, see, but they didn't feed them off the line. They fed them special diet, but not like kosher diet like our diet, like the Jews eat in there. So. I got out of there, and I went to this Christian church. Yeah, I mentioned that a while ago. And then I began to sing in a quartet up there, and we used to go, you know, they let us practice twice a night for 1 hour. Can't even get your voice right in 1 hour. But anyway, I was in there, and this guy said, well, we're going to pray and ask Jesus to help us. I said, excuse me, sir. Out of all respect, I said, you ever studied the name Jesus? Yes, I studied the name. I know who Jesus is, you know. I said, but according to my research and study, there was no such person by the name of Jesus who was our Savior on down there. What did this man say? He ran and looked out the window. You got to get this man out of here. Get him out of here. Oh, he don't believe in the Savior, Jesus, you know. And then, like I said on the tape, they took me to the minister, and the minister told me I can't be talking about Jesus, talking against their belief. You know, I didn't talk about against their belief. I just asked them to do some research on it. You know, which they didn't do the research on it still. That guy got cranked up with me, man. And I was telling him about the Masonics that after the preacher called me to his office, I was telling him about the Masons and the orders that I belongs to, 4 or 5 orders, you know. I ain't gonna name them, but I'm gonna Rosicrucian, all of them. Anyway, They told me I can't talk about that in that church, so they just expelled me, you know, just got rid of me. So I wanted to talk about Yahweh now. I wanted to get up and, you know, explain to the guys about Yahweh. Because I had just started his name from the encyclopedias in the library, because I went there every night, studying the encyclopedias and ordering books and requested to order some more books from Rochester, New York. And they take them 2 weeks to get there, but they get them to me. And I started studying, best I could, and writing to the nation for information, the nation of Yahweh. And then I met another guy, was a Jehovah's Witness or something, but he had heard the name of Yahweh. And he said, well, I've been looking for somebody that want to talk about this Yahweh, you know, this name Yahweh. So him and I got together, then we started studying together in the yard. We started studying together under the shade trees in the summer. When it get cold, we go to the library, sit down, we study. Then we said, hey, what we going to do now? How we going to study? How we going to keep the Sabbath day when all these Muslims and Christians and Jews and all these other people, the only somebody they worship on a Sunday is the only somebody worship here is the Jews on the Sabbath day. So I said, well, we'll just attend some of the Jewish services and see what they talk about. So we did, just him and I. Then we met about 4 or 5 white dudes in there. They heard the name of Yahweh. But when the rabbi said we are not to call the name of Yahweh, you know, because they don't have it in their name. He said, well, how are you taking notes of everything? I said, that is my job. I take notes of everything I hear that is very interesting to me. He said, well, we don't usually put your pencil down. We don't take no now. You don't start giving us bad time in the Jewish religion because they don't want to talk about the Yahweh. They don't want to call the name period in the Jewish service. They didn't allow that. So here we are now. We got to put a petition in to get some books so we can study our Bibles in now, so we can study, so we can start bringing the name of Yahweh and the prison. The name of Yahweh wasn't mentioned there. We didn't hear nothing about the name of Yahweh in the prison system. Nothing. All we heard was about Allah. We heard about God. We heard about Jesus. Well, that's all they heard. And it didn't make no sense to me after going through all these religions and studying with them all down through the years. Then my book came in from the nation of Yahweh about the diets that we're supposed to eat. See? So then we had to file a petition on that. It took about 2 or 3 more weeks because we were going through the line and picking what we can eat and what we can't eat. See? Because we were working every day. And then we eventually got a book in from the nation of Yahweh. And then we took it to the pastor, to the preacher there, the chaplain, and showed him that we must have this diet. And so they got in touch with the food administrator, which was Mr. Howard Dean at that time. They say, okay, give us about 4 or 5 days. We'll talk about this. Me and the Rabideau, who was the superintendent, Rabideau, yeah, Michael Rabideau. He's an Italian guy. So they came back with a list of stuff that we could do. If we are to have this diet according to Yahweh's laws, and the books came from the nation, they can give us potato chips, soup in the little plastic containers, sardines, 4 slices of bread, no whole wheat bread, which is supposed to be whole wheat, cucumbers, fish, come in a little old brown container, look like it's been packed up for 4 or 5 years. We didn't know that until after they started bringing in servants on the line. And all the utensils that we have, we would use to eat out of it, had to be clean. The cups, knocked off the line, the trays, the paper plates that we eat off of, all that stuff had to be clean, uncontaminated. Oh boy. There we now we got the kitchen staff mad at us. We got the COs mad at us because they had to make special places for us to worship. We had to have a special place. They give us a special place set off to the side in the mess hall with all the other inmates. And put a big sign up for Jews, Hebrews only. Now they won't segregate us and put us way off to ourselves. Jews, Hebrews only. We all had set up on a table, the Jews and the Hebrews set up there. So that's why they call us Jews, Hebrews. That's what they call us. Here come them Hebrews again, the troublemakers. So we got 15 minutes to eat. So we go to the line, we pick up our trays, We get to the place where we got to sit down at. And I ain't had no teeth or nothing during that time. I still ain't got no. And here, at first the food was, sufficient, but when we was working, we needed more food. So we petitioned to get a hot meal, at least one hot meal a day. Oh man, they denied that. You sign the petition to eat a cold alternative diet, and that's what you're going to get. If you ask for any more things, we're going to put you in the box. We'll give you 2 or 3 tickets, and you're going to be in there for 90 days. Huh? You get 1 loaf of bread a day. They bake the bread and don't put nothing in it. No salt, no grease, no nothing. Just bake the bread, mix it up, put it in the oven, bake it, and bring it in and give it to you once a day. Bread about that long. And that's all you get, all the water you can drink. They try to kill you, see? No nutrition at all. But nowadays, people die behind that stuff, man. People have died behind it. So we couldn't argue about that for a while. Here we are, signing more petitions. After a year went by, about 9 months went by, because I didn't like it long, we got together, we decided we'll sign a petition. We signed more petitions trying to get things done. When we get ready to go to service, we were only allowed to wear these things right here. Not the turban, I think, what they wear in the nation of Yahweh. Yeah. We wasn't allowed to wear that. They called us terrorists. Said we with Saddam Hussein, and people that live over in the Middle East. That's what they say. So they had to order some of these things. They wanted the Jewish service, they give us a little black cap to sit on the back of your head, man. I didn't like that either. I didn't like that. A black cap, what they call it, a skull cap, something, I don't know. They call it, they got a name for it. Now back to the food administrator. Okay, they wouldn't give us a hot meal, so I told most of the people got so hungry because they were working, they dropped out. They dropped out of the service, the Hebrew Jewish service. I mean, we had the Hebrew service then, but we got away from the Jews. We stopped serving them, but they had the Jews and the Hebrew tables all the same, but we still eat on the same table. So the Hebrews got the cold alternative diet when the Jews could eat some of the food off the line, which was hot. See, you see how this distinguish that between the Jews and the Hebrews? They give us all cold food, no hot food at all. Only hot food you're gonna get is a cup of hot coffee or a cup of hot water. That's all you're gonna get. You bitch about that or say anything about it, they lock you up. Without a doubt. They ain't gonna argue with you. They just say, give me your card out your pocket. Write you up, give you a 2 or 3 ticket. Then what? You lose your commissary, you lose your phone call, you lose a visit, that's serious about it, what they're doing. And we got a bunch of people that live in the hills and the woods up there. People call them rednecks up there. That's what they call them. I don't know what kind of people they were, but a lot of them was uneducated, and a lot of them didn't go to church to learn about their God. So they never heard of Hebrews, and so they disliked us, all of us. So it ended up being 8 of us, 8 or 9 of us, out of 31 that participated in worshiping Yahweh on a Saturday. when the holy days come around, they try to sneak food off the line into our food. They didn't want to pick the food and bring it up. And then they'd be late coming to the service. Now we go to the Passover meals, the food supposed to be there during sundown. We get there, we have to wait till an hour and a half later because they take their time to feed the other people first and then they bring our food last. And that's the way they do it. A lot of times they put food off the line in there because they didn't have nobody in the kitchen to prepare a kosher diet for us to eat according to Yahweh's teaching. The dietary laws. And we signed a petition against that. We signed petition. Every week we had to sign a petition. Every week something was missing out of our food bag. Either we didn't get no cucumber, or we didn't get no which was frozen. They freeze the cucumbers, they put them in a freezer and freeze them with the sardines. You know, then they give a little can over. You know, you had to cut your fingers all up trying to open the can of sardines. Then when you open the sardines, they ice, frozen. The cucumber was frozen. They give us apples to eat. They been frozen. That's how they treated us in the splinter system like Groveland. And they would sit there and watch you. You can't take no food out of the mess hall. That's a tier 3 ticket. You got to eat it right there. And you got 15 minutes to eat it. Now, how in the world are you going to eat a frozen cucumber? Frozen sardines, you're hungry and worked all day. That don't make sense. But that's the way they were punishing us, trying to get us to go back on the line to eat. Oh, y'all ain't for real? Huh? Y'all fakes. So they got so bad on us, what we had to do, we had to go and try to find a lawyer and file a lawsuit against these people, see? So we can petition them what to do in case, you know, other people come in that know about the name of Yahweh and get on the kosher diet, other brothers that come in the prison system and make mistakes, you know, like a lot of us do. And we settled up, we found a lawyer. Took about 2 or 3 weeks to do that. We found a lawyer out in Rochester, David Hughes with them. They the civil lawyers, federal lawyers. Then they got interested in the case. They sent us all letters and say, save all your petitions, that your grievances that you had turned into the system so that he can look over the documents and everything. So a lot of it was sent in to him. Then he began to respond to us, and he wanted to talk to us on the telephone, whatever kind of phone that was. You can sit down and talk about everything to it. He said, it seems like you got an ongoing case here. You all got a good case here. They never heard of the Hebrews, and they didn't give you the right type of food that you're supposed to have, so we filed a petition. So we put this petition together, and this is just part of it. I got a whole box load of petition on this lawsuit, and what all was said. Just to run a few notes down to you right quick. United States District Court, Western District of New York, Kenneth Ward, okay, and Owbed Israel, you know, versus plaintiff Michael Rabideau, which is the defendant. We were the plaintiff, and he was the defendant. So we defended by their attorney Andrew Como, Attorney General of the state of New York. Well, Como was the General Senator. Benjamin A. Bruce, Assistant Attorney General of Counsel, for the respond to plaintiff's first request for the production of documents dated January 19, 2007. State as follows. A copy of the food service operation menus in effect in 203 and 204 respond. A copy of food service operation menus in effect in 203 and 204. All documents of defendant Communion relating to any and all meeting between and among himself and the plaintiff, which is us, specifically related to any complaints made by the complaint related to the kosher meals and the administration of the Jewish Hebrew religious service at Groveland and 204. We filed this petition to the lawyer in Rochester. And they defended Rapidu and Evan, which was the head cook of Groveland, related to the grievance, told all kind of lies, said we didn't make no petition, he didn't sign no grievance that he can give us a hot meal and all that stuff, and which he said he gonna look into it, and he never did. The only way we got it that the lawyer had to petition the governor or whoever head man up there in Auburn to give us at least one hot meal per day. And they give us a little old tray of food like this for a hot meal. You know, they still try to get us off the line, they're workers. Anyway, and here we are with all these petitions went to court. So they went to court on it. The lawyer continued went to court. All right, Attorney General of the state of New York. Okay, now the man who Kenneth Ward versus Michael Rapidu and Owbed Yisrael. All right, here are special diet, okay, and medical therapeutic diet, which are discussed in Directive 4311, which is some kind of code number, shall be provided only under the following circumstances. And it wasn't 2 weeks later, I'm getting a call I called on the bulletin board. Now, you got to go to the call I called when you're going. You got a call I call 8:30 in the morning to the health clinic. I goes over to the health clinic, right? I'm sitting there, you know, waiting to see what's going on. I ain't put in no recommendation to see no doctor or nothing. Here come the doctor, come out with a long white coat on, right? He said, Mr. Thomas, oh, you have any sleep disorder? I said, no, sir. He said, well, anyway, to keep you from going through depression and sleeping disorder, I'm going to recommend you to take, I'm going to start you off with these pills. This one here for sleep disorder. This one here to keep your health, keep your strength up, you know, keep you, keep you going, you know. I said, sir, I didn't ask for all this stuff. He said, well, these here, right here is downers. In other words, they relax your muscles so you can sleep at night. I said, I sleep pretty good. I said, I pray to my God, Yahweh. Who is your God? I said, Yahweh. Oh, no. He said, you going to refuse? Then the nurse came over. Mr. Thomas, whatever the doctor recommends you to do, it's best that you go ahead and do it. I said, okay, I'll do it. He said, you want to take one of these pills now? I said, yeah, I'll take one. Take one, you know, put it under my tongue, drink a little thing of water. He said, now you take one every night before we go to bed. Yeah, right. When I got to the gym, I flushed them down the toilet. See, I know they was up to something, see. They was up to get me because my time was short, see. And we done put the lawsuit in, and they done find out that we got the lawsuit on, and the CO every time he bring, they wasn't allowed to open the letter from the lawyer. But we had to open it right before him. And he just looked through it, and that's it. We closed back and going by business. So the lawyer was telling us everything, the procedure that we going through. We got an ongoing case, so you got a good case against them. Said, now, we going to win this case. If we had to go to the highest court. See, they violated y'all, they discriminated y'all, they blow cigarette smoke in your face, they didn't feed you like you're supposed to on your kosher meal. President Bush, old Bush, passed a law in the year 2002 that all inmates, people free or bond, are to have a special diet for their religion, according to their religious faith. And the Pope said the same thing in a letter to all his congregations around the world. And I checked that note, that paper, in the paper, little magazine that I read. And I took it to the superintendent and get his idea on why we don't do that. The president run his job and we run the prison system. You commit a crime, you pay for it. You understand? So we're not gonna give you no hot meals. Not no 3 hot meals a day. Which we supposed to be getting 3 hot meals a day. I guess they're doing it now. See, so we put that lawsuit in them. We filed a $7 million lawsuit, which they didn't want to pay us no money no way. Give us a little money. Okay. Now, the following sanitation inspection, they had to have somebody in the kitchen that know how to prepare our food. The following sanitary inspection, and immediately after the health inspector submit his worksheet listed deficiency. A copy of the worksheet shall be sent to the Director of Nutritional Service. A copy shall be sent to the regional coordinator. Now this comes from the lawyer after his research on it, and he sent that to the superintendent. See? And still, after he got that, they sent us a copy of the letter too. They still didn't respond to what they were getting from the court. So they had to go back to court again, They went to start denying everything that we said that we belong to some Hebrew religions and stuff like that. And they said we thought they were Jews. So we actually had to celebrate their holy days with the Jews. And Mr. Howard Dean wouldn't cooperate with us at all. And he was a head food administrator all over the prison system in the state of New York. And he didn't feed us like we were supposed to. He didn't recommend us to have the right type of food according to our religious faith, that they call religious, the kosher diet. And then he just gave us hell. I mean, you talking about hell, he gave us hell. Here it is, Passover, this Passover, April 1st. I picked up a newspaper downtown. Didn't think to read it, I just picked it up, paid for it and brought it out and put it on my dresser. And then I lay in bed and I opened it up, got my glasses and put it on, I opened it up, I looked at it. Ex-worker, worked at the prison system. Howard Dean has been accused of receiving or stealing over $100,000 from the system. $100,000. And they were talking about it, and I jumped up and I said, look at this. Look at this, Howard Dean. Yeah, that was a head administrator all over the state of New York. That is the man that gave us so much hell. I said, praise Yahweh, look at this. This man here gave us hell. Now he's getting ready to go to prison. They say he can get up to 6 months. But they just sentenced him about 3 or 4 weeks ago. They gave him 6 years. So he's doing 6 years right now in the penitentiary of the state of New York. The same man that caused us all this problem, doing all this time, but we were doing that time while we were up at the prison. Now he I guess he's getting his reward. Now he's probably gonna need a coordinator for his coordinator diet. What you think? You think he gonna need a special diet? Yahweh said he laugh at people calamity when they make terrible mistake and refuse to worship. I wouldn't mind going and talk to some of the inmates myself that want to hear about what happened in the prison system and how we should serve our great God and how we should conduct ourselves so that we can better ourselves, for ourselves and our family and our parents and for the world. We do that When we get back out in the society, which I'm out now, and I'm free off the road, praise Yahweh. I just got off the road here last week. I got a clean record. 5-year parole. I did it. Praise Yahweh. And I'm going to continue to study about Yahweh. And I pray that others would also unite and study out in the free world, born or free, to continue to do the research. Just don't take what a preacher say. Just don't take it. I did that for years. And you see in my past communication that I had studied different religions for approximately 50 years. 50 years. And now I'm 74 years old. Hey, praise Yahweh, 74 years old, man. I'm still here to say these things. So let's get the work done and get started creating something to help the brothers in there with the teaching of our great God Yahweh. I think that'd be a good thing too. What do you think? Yeah. I just want to say I want to thank I-26 for allowing me to sit here and relate to you and those that come involved with what I had to say, whether born or free, to help get this story out, what I said. And I proved that if they need any more additional information, I have plenty. I have a lot of proof right here. Right here. Having any problem, and I can help, I'll help, because I kept all my papers. I know what to do with Yahweh's help. Thanks, I-26. We'll see you around.